Hello World Wide Web, I'm Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and Gamerathon 3 is so close that I really should avoid spending any more money on new movies before that is taken care of. So it's a damn good thing that Die Hard was in a box set. And watching each film in chronological order, it's time for Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, which marks the first time we see John McClaine of the NYPD actually set foot in New York during one of these movies. Interestingly enough, though, this movie wasn't actually supposed to be a Die Hard movie. The script was Simon Says, a completely unrelated film, and for the first hour or so of the movie, it's the exact same as what we see, spare one or two more details. Such as the fact that, of course, they had to change the protagonist to Bruce Willis as John McClaine, and Samuel L. Jackson's character was originally supposed to be a woman, which might explain the changes in the second half of the film. I think it would be a little out of character if John McClaine realized that after fighting with him for all this time, in fact, truly, he loved Zeus all along. Now that someone has started writing that fanfic, let's take a look at Die Hard with a Vengeance and see if they can post it before this review finishes. We open to New York! It's so New York and New York, New York. It's the New Yorkiest New York in all of... Oh fuck, it's so New York, even the explosions are rude. The aftermath we go to is the oddly swift police response, introducing Inspector Walter Cobb, played by Larry Brigman? Yeah, played by Larry. The investigation is luckily one of those extra easy ones, as the perpetrator calls him up first thing.
Said Simple Simon to the pieman going to the fair, give me your pies.
Probably because he's crazy. The man on the phone explains that he has more bombs to play with, and will do so unless they dig up Officer McClaine and have him follow the caller's instruction exactly.
Call me Simon.
What do you want?
I want to play a game.
What kind of game?
Simon Says.
Whatever we play, it's going to have to be the title of this movie, so no Dungeons and Dragons, I'm afraid that's trademarked, and Cops and Robbers would be far too generic a title for an action movie. Point is, we reintroduce Bruce Willis as John McClaine, whom evidently got transferred back to the NYPD between movies, became an alcoholic, got suspended, and separated from his wife. Which sounds like one hell of a series of events. Why aren't we watching the movie that shows how the hell that happened? Why do that when we can talk about obviously will be important later bits of info?
Still betting your badge, Rick?
Yeah. $69.91 every week.
It would be a shame if something bad would happen to you, and the only clue we have is linked to the fact that, conveniently, everyone in the audience now knows your badge number. Nevertheless, they reach their destination, where John must go off alone at the behest of Simon. Then they pull an illegal U-turn right before McClane starts jaywalking. On the bright side, I think they drove down the right side of the street to get there. So let's introduce our second half of this film, a random electrician played by Samuel L. Jackson, who we see reciting a quiz to the local kids.
So who's gonna help?
We're gonna help ourselves.
And who do we not want to help us?
White people.
That's right.
Jeez, movie, could you get a little more racist? Wow! Noticing this right away, Jackson moves in to try and figure out what's going on and prevent a situation that will obviously lead to this man's death. John barely has time to explain he's a police officer before the local population takes note of his oh-so-colorful sign.
What the fuck?
Lots of things I could say here are humorous in one way or another, but I really don't feel like waking up tomorrow with less than 20 subscribers. Obviously, this situation escalates immediately. More so, though, when they knock John down and Jackson sees the gun, deciding to defuse the situation by holding everyone up and initiating a carjacking.
Just run all the lights, drive! You got it, boss!
Isn't that how you normally get around the city anyway?
Right now. Chill out, hey, Zeus.
Chill out, what the fuck? Are you trying to relate to me? Talk like a white man.
Okay, Zeus, I'm sorry you got it.
Why you keep calling me Jesus? I look Puerto Rican to you.
Please, could he get a little more racist? I didn't say anything. Jackson explains his character's name is Zeus, so still a deity, but whatevs. Point is, they head back down to the police plaza, where the overpaid shrink tells everybody the shocking revelation about Simon. He's a crazy motherfucker named Simon! More interestingly, the bomb guru Charles Weiss, played by Kevin Chamberlain, explains that the bombs being planted all over New York are a special kind that are completely harmless while the chemicals are separated. But once mixed, they have an uncontrollable urge to rearrange office furniture. With that out of the way, the psycho calls back to toy with McClane some more, but he also seems interested in keeping Zeus involved with this game of his.
You interfered with a well-laid plan.
Yeah, well, you can stick your well-laid plan up your well-laid ass.
And so he did. The end. Too easy. So he calls back 10 seconds later to tell them the next plot-relevant scene is at the subway station. Doesn't mean McClane can't grill him a bit, though.
What'd you do? Shoplifting, purse snatching, cross-dressing, what?
Shit. That's illegal. Their discourse goes nowhere, but on the plus side, McClane is reinstated just like that, and Zeus gets to go with him.
I'm not jumping through hoops for some psycho. That's a white man with white problems. You deal with it.
Is it just me, or is racial tension kind of a thing in this movie? I'm not sure, but there seem to be a few subtle hints here and there. On that note, Zeus says he only saved McClane to prevent a white death in Harlem from sparking a much harsher backlash from the white police force, but John convinces the man to continue helping the police by telling him that the bomb that would have went off had McClane not complied was set in a park in Harlem, instead of Chinatown where it actually was.
This guy doesn't care about skin color, even if you do.
Okay guys, did you hear that? Skin color is not important. I'm white, he's black, but it doesn't matter. It's not important. We'll remind you all again in about 10 minutes. But when Ebony and Ivory work together in perfect harmony...
Get out the damn phone, lady. Police business.
Hell, I never!
I can get used to this.
You had better stay the fuck out of their way. If you're wanting plot progression at this point, well, too bad. Instead, we get a riddle.
As I was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Every wife had 7 sacks. Every sack has 7 cats. Every cat has 7 kittens. Kittens, cats, sacks, and wives. How many were going to St. Ives?
You can pause the video and try and figure this one out on your own. I'll wait. Okay, that's long enough.
The guy and his wives aren't going anywhere.
What are they doing?
Sitting in the fucking road, waiting on the moon. How the hell should I know?
Who's going to
McClane?
St. Ives then?
The guy. Just the guy.
Now, if you want to be technical, the riddle never said that the man and his wife weren't going, so, really don't know.
Yeah, a piece of cake. Give us something harder next time.
But you're 10 seconds late.
You gave them 30 seconds and it took them over a minute. I can see why you went with the trick question. Math really isn't your strong suit. Fortunately for them, he didn't say Simon Says, so this whole thing was a song and dance and completely pointless. The real challenge for them is to travel 90 blocks in under 30 minutes, or else Simon will blow up the number 3 subway train. 90 blocks in 30 minutes. That's easy. Haven't you ever played Grand Theft Auto?
And requisitioning his cop for official police.
What are you
Thank
doing? What
very
the
much.
fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
Get out of here! Are you aiming for these people? No. Maybe that's mine.
Apparently, yes! Before reaching their destination, however, McClane has the idea to split up so he can hop on the train. Well, literally. And Jackson can reach the payphone on his own. Mostly, anyway.
What? You don't like white people?
112 Wall Street.
You got it.
Psst. You're supposed to hand him your wallet and tell him he's a great driver. Tips for nearly running into oncoming traffic. While McClane locates the bomb on the train, Zeus has slightly more difficulty trying to answer the payphone.
I have to answer that phone.
Just shut up and get him in the air!
Well, they already are! So perhaps Keith would have been more apt. But there will be no exploitation of automated collect calls on my watch! In any case, Zeus does get his phone call, but because McClane isn't right there with him, that's not good enough for Simon.
Trust me, guys. Duck.
Yeah, but you don't have to cover. I mean, it's not like it's a nuclear explosion or anything. At least McClane manages to get the bomb several feet away before it goes off, which somehow means that the damage done is mostly structural, taking out the subway tunnel and street above, but not McClane, whose magnificent form is impervious to concussive forces. Unfortunately, though, he's not exempt from dealing with unnecessary interrogations, which brings us to the FBI involvement in this case.
Did you recognize the voice on the phone?
Well, sure, it was Jeremy Irons, voice of Scar in The Lion King. He kind of stands out.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Though in this instance, John has no idea, so the FBI explains the plot connection to the previous film. Turns out this man is Simon Gruber, brother of Hans Gruber, who has targeted McClane due to the fact that John killed Simon's brother in the first movie. And the connection to the second film? Good question. Almost comes off like the studio is embarrassed over it. As the FBI aren't helping progress the plot, Simon calls up to take over. It just so happens that he planted a fuck ton of exploding goo in a random school, so they'd better run off and find it. Oh, but don't use those pesky radios to communicate or it'll go off. And don't evacuate, and McClaine and Zeus have to complete all future tasks on foot. And Simon says make him a double-decker patty melt with extra onions lightly toasted. Or well, maybe not that last part, but the rest still stands. I just really want a patty melt. Responding to his word and request without question, the police move out to save the children of the city. However, wouldn't you know it, this happens to be the point in the Die Hard movie where we see the big bad guys rolling in en masse, hiding in plain sight and setting up one hell of an operation.
Heavens to Betsy, if anyone knew!
Along with the classic Die Hard characteristic of not taking itself too seriously.
Bunkerberry?
And Star Trek technology because, fuck it? Thus, while the police are out chasing the bomb in the schoolyard, Simon leads his merry band of terrorists into the vault of the Federal Reserve, stealing tons of gold out from under their noses.
Fort Knox! Ha! It's for tourists!
Scar, Federal Reserve offers free tours of the vault 14 times a week. Never mind all this massively important twisting of the plot, though. Let's go back to McClaine and Zeus following the insignificant breadcrumbs.
What is 4 legs and is always ready to travel?
A camel with a hump full of Red Bull?
What's the matter with you? Don't you have kids?
Does Tara count? Oh, elephant. Because trunk. Funny. They find their next bomb along with another random puzzle. They must put exactly 4 gallons of water on the scale, but only using a 3-gallon jug and a 5-gallon jug. What the fuck is going on? Did Jigsaw take over Sesame Street?
Give me the fucking jug. We're starting over.
We can't start over. We can't start over. We can't start over.
I'm gonna put my foot up your ass, you dumb mother. Say it. Say it. You were gonna call me a nigga, weren't you? No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were. What were you gonna call me?
Asshole! I'll tell you what your problem is. You don't like me because you're a racist.
What?
You're a racist. You don't like me because I'm white.
Did you get that? Racism is bad. Very bad. And you can be racist against white people, which is also bad. Yes, yes you can. Yes it is. What? That out of the way, they quickly solve the puzzles of the water dungeon and receive their next arbitrary task, to make it to Yankee Stadium and find a note.
When you undertake the trip it suggests, ask yourself this question. What is 21 out of 42?
Well, clearly the answer is, fuck it, this movie's gonna tell us eventually. However, while on the way to the stadium and trying to figure out this problem, McClaine learns that some kid already knows the plot of this movie.
It's Christmas! You could steal City Hall!
Thus, at this moment, McClaine decided to make a quick stop off at the Apple Store. Well, that's too damn far, so he just steals the kid's bike instead. This bit of information lets John figure out that Simon probably wants the money on Wall Street and diverted the cops to schools as a means to prevent them from interrupting his heist. Therefore, he heads back to get to the bottom of this, which evidently must lie in the Federal Reserve vault. On his way down with the very helpful guards, McClaine notices something. Oh no, that's not his cop friend with that specific badge number that we conveniently established at the beginning of this movie. Therefore, gunfight! Noticing then that obviously the man has already got away with the gold, he and Zeus use the remaining gold to get a new car. Still more cost effective than solar frickin' roadways. Damn good resale value too, as they traded up for a Mercedes.
That guy was pissed.
I feel better when he looks in the back seat. Shit, that was my gold bar!
Welcome to the world of cooperative multiplayer. They eventually catch up to a dump truck sure to be loaded with gold, but instead they just hold up John Everyman. No bother, McCain goes with him to the new place they're sure the bad guys went, while Zeus continues onward to Yankee Stadium.
God damn it!
Yeah, it could be worse.
This part is phase 3 of Tunnel 3. Planning for it began back in 1954.
You could be stuck in a small truck with a construction worker incarnation of TV trash Rowdy C. Moore. Before long, though, they run into a second truck, and... really luck out that it did turn out to be bad guys. I'm imagining that Jerry doesn't feel too safe around McClaine anymore. Good thing that they separate here, as McClaine goes to find the bad guys, and Jerry gets to solve the riddle.
Tell him to find out who the 21st president was.
Chester A. Arthur, 1881 to 1885, nominated vice president 1880. Did you know he was collector of customs right here in New York?
You might want to cut it short before McClaine remembers he has plenty of bullets left in that gun. Nevertheless, Zeus locates the special note waiting at the stadium. Ah, so Simon meant to kill them. Truly makes you wonder why he even bothered with the 21 out of 42 riddle, if in order for his plan to even work, they had to not be able to find the bomb in the school in time and be able to get back to Wall Street and find him in his heist. I mean, what was his plan? Was that his plan? Why? On top of that, he has something against killing them one at a time, allowing Zeus to get out unharmed. Unfortunately, after McClaine is arbitrarily inconvenienced and manages to barely survive escaping the oncoming rush of water...
Somebody was following you? I'm telling you, he's dragging us around! Oh, shit!
Does this mean that if John had just drowned in the tunnel, they would have just let Zeus go home and have a Salisbury steak? Doing about as well as them, the police find the bomb at the Chester A. Arthur Elementary School, which means they can go through the motions of trying to disarm the thing. Quick question though, if the chemicals are inert until they mix, couldn't they just cut the tubes and walk away? Did they ever establish a reason why they couldn't do this? Come on, movie, work with me here! And gives them something to do while John and Zeus track down the trucks to the river. Quick thinking and convenient Hollywood physics allow them to use a truck's winch to lower themselves safely onto the boat. That's safer than visiting Chicago in any case. As he's here for action, McClaine shows Zeus all the ins and outs of wielding an SMG.
Just yank back on that and pull the trigger. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Just ignore all the knobs and dials. I pretty much never use them. As we can probably expect, Zeus finds Simon lickety-split. But there's a problem.
Gotta take safety catch off.
If McClaine had given Zeus an unloaded gun like he did Hans, at least the man would have had a chance to fucking run. Not that things are going great on John's end, as he does battle in the ship's cargo bay. And back at the school, panic is high as the bomb is set to blow in fucking immediately.
Take syrup?
Yeah? Remind me never to go to New York IHOP. Yeah, it turns out the bomb is not in the school, but on the boat. And now John and Zeus are on it. Simon announces to the world his intention to end the West's stranglehold on the world economy by proactively redistributing the wealth to various marine life. This is all well and good, but McClaine has a final request.
Got any aspirins? I've had a bad fucking headache all day long.
Must be your lucky day.
Ah, sure, he might seem nice now, but the joke's on him. That was Tylenol. After he leaves, John explains the next plot twist to Zeus, that they aren't going to blow up the gold, but in fact, scrap metal. Gruber was pulling a Gruber all along, so he pulls a spare piece of shrapnel out of his arm, allowing Zeus to pick the cuffs, and the two of them to escape before it goes off. Which, based on how close they were, should have still killed them. After the smoke clears, it looks like Simon managed to slip away with the gold, and no hint as to where he has gone to. Obviously, they can't just watch for any ridiculously massive shipments of heavy minerals. That would be too easy. What they can do is realize that the Tylenol bottle McClaine received was from a specific truck stop, and said truck stop is obviously exactly where the big bad guys would go for their evil victory party.
Hey, dickhead! Did I come at a bad time?
Oh dear. Didn't mean to climax that fast. Obviously, this results in panic amongst the bad guys who gear up for war, but that's not important. So instead, we focus on McClaine and Zeus flying against Simon, whom is also flying.
What the fuck? Oh, shit!
It's not quite as exciting as a mid-air duel in Dragon Ball Z, but it gets the job done. Funny thing, though, they didn't prepare for getting shot at, so McClaine only has a pocket revolver to shoot back with. This is less than effective and doesn't even work to deter Simon, causing the police chopper to take enough damage that it is forced to land.
Shit! Belt's stuck! I can't get it off!
The insidious safety belt strikes again, leaving it solely to McClaine to take Simon down with only 2 bullets left. Ha ha! Reference. Unnecessary on top of it, as he only has to hit 1 target that manages to seriously fuck up Simon's ride, thoroughly ruining his day.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Did anyone else notice the bandage on his forehead keeps changing? Is it going to turn into a SpongeBob or Hello Kitty Band-Aid before the credits roll? Nah, but we do see Zeus manage to undo the seatbelt off screen, and the story comes to a close with the terrorist army. Oh, something happened to them, off screen. And McClaine probably reunites with his wife, off screen, I think. which is effectively the same as walking out of the theater 5 minutes before the movie closes and saying, yeah, they got out okay. Well, that was Die Hard with a Vengeance, and certainly a hell of a lot better than the second. Interesting, as Die Hard 2 was written to be so much a follow-up to Die Hard it almost comically followed suit with how the first movie was done, while this one was actually a completely different movie until the studio decided to turn it into Die Hard 3. Of course, this film was directed by John McClaine, whom did the original Die Hard, and Predator, so there's your connection to the Alien and or Predator franchise I like to point out wherever possible. Back on the topic of Die Hard with a Vengeance, it works as a Die Hard movie because McClane has been demoted from super cop back down to normal-ass flawed human being. So much so they almost broke the character, but Bruce Willis managed to pull it out and make him someone we can sympathize with. Zeus certainly is memorable on top of it, as Samuel L. Jackson spent time getting into character by studying Malcolm X. And fortunately, while racial tension is a pretty big part of the conflict early on, it's actually allowed to progress naturally, dropping off as a non-issue by the end of the movie. Overall, for the plot and story though, what can I say? The progression was interesting, and while some nursery rhymes were pointless, they were still entertaining. The twist near the end, though, did get a bit ridiculous. Bomb in the school! Oh, wait, there's actually a heist and that's merely a lie to distract you. Oh, no, wait, there is a bomb in the school. Oh, no, it's a fake bomb. No, wait, there is a bomb, but it's on the boat. Gonna blow up the gold. Wait, we actually just keep it. It's a constant back and forth that's really hard for any movie to pull off right, and while Die Hard with a Vengeance still does a damn good job with it, I can't say it comes through completely unscathed, ranking 4 feng shui enhancing explosions out of 5. I'm surprised after a movie this good that did as well as it did at the box office, it took Fox so long before they decided to keep milking the sequel machine some more. But that's a review for another day. Thank you all for watching, I've been Shado, and remember, racism is bad. Really bad. Don't know if you know this yet, but we're going to repeat it another 87 times or so you get it.
Zeus, as in father of Apollo, Mount Olympus. Don't fuck with me or I'll shove a lightning bolt up your ass. Zeus!